Through internet surfing, I came across some recommendations for Studio Brainbase's Baccano. And god didn't every single reviewer say it was amazing. They treated it like it was the second coming of Christ. So I was very inclined to watch it, and I did, and right now I'm gonna give my review on it. Before I go on about the story, I just want to talk about the opening, and god did I love the opening. The jazz music, the saxophone, every single thing fit in well into what we were seeing on screen. We were introduced to many characters, and it gave us many hints and depth into their characters before even watching the show. And I thought this was done masterfully. And although you're not going to remember every single character's name, since there's a lot to digest in just 2 minutes, it gives us a quick image about what's to come. And I thought this was done well. So kudos to Baccano for doing this. If there's anything you're going to remember out of this show, even if you don't remember the show itself, you're definitely going to remember this amazing opening. And I liked it. And the bizarre jump cutty style of the opening, in my opinion, represents the bizarre jump cutty style of the show. It's nice to see the amount of thought put into the opening before we even get to the series itself, which is great in my opinion. Baccano takes place across 3 different timelines, mainly consisting in the 1930s. The thing that ties in the plot is the events that took place in the 1400s to the 1500s, in which alchemists attempt to summon the devil to make an elixir that will turn them immortal. A man named Mizo Averos, the main alchemist at the center of the summoning, attempts to keep this a secret between the people who were there. And meanwhile, there's a train called the Flying Pussyfoot, where there's gangbangers, a monster called the Rail Tracer, and psychopaths. This story, man. There's no main character, and the story frequently switches between each of its settings. You could sort of say it's the anime equivalent of Pulp Fiction. The cast is huge, but the story is smart, quick, and efficient characterization makes sure that every character gets their own moment to shine and isn't left too bland. Though I would be lying if I didn't say that there weren't some characters that didn't stand out more than others. Specifically, I liked Nice, the Jacuzzi Gang, and some of the other side characters. But my favorite characters had to be Lad Russo, Firo, and obviously Isaac and Miriam. Firo because of how cool, calm, and genuine he is. Lad because he's a creative psychopath who just dominates whenever he's on screen. And Miriam and Isaac because of their charm and charisma. If you are going to watch this series, watch it in English dub. The New York and Italian accents really shine through, whereas you won't get that same experience if you're watching an English sub. Some standout performances was by Brian Macy and Sean Hennigan for voicing Lad and Mizo respectively. Though the series is great, it is without its flaws. The first few episodes were boring in my opinion, only really picking up around episode 7. And well, the plot and the plot structure are going to be a hit and miss for most people, since people are really into the whole linear plot structure rather than the whole random, spontaneous kind that Baccano represents. I myself had trouble making sense of what was happening for the first few episodes, though the story wraps it up at the end and draws a nice conclusion. Another problem is the lack of distinctive character designs between some characters. It's hard to know who is who when everyone kind of looks the same, but that's just a personal nitpick of mine. And although they are bizarre and very outright good characterized people, there are some people who are just not designed well enough for me and just end up looking bland. And especially since this is a series about bizarrety, the designs at times fails to hold up. Overall, Baccano is a lot of fun. If there was one overarching moral in it, I have to say it's about trust and solace in people. Baccano is entertainment in its purest form. The story isn't anything to write home about, but it's less about the story and more about the story structure that really makes Baccano stand out for the crowd. Overall, it has some great characters, interesting story structure, and it's quite memorable with a great opening. Baccano isn't about the story, but how the story is told, which is very unique in the confines of anime. Overall, I rate this series a 9 out of 10. Thank you for watching this all the way through. Please like, share, subscribe. Thank you to Sonic. Thank you to Ray Pacifier for all commenting on the last video. And yeah, Robbie out.